Yo guys, it's CF here, welcome back to a brand new video, welcome back. And today, we're back with another video, obviously. Not back with a preview or a review or a transfer news video. We're going with something different once again because the international break just knocks the steam out of us Chelsea fans. And also today, got a hat on because my hair is an absolute mess. But saying that though, this hat is quite dirty actually, but yeah. Welcome back to a brand new video where we're going to be talking about Chelsea's problems with Pochettino currently right now at this stage of the season, at this point of the season, only 4 games in, but it's still a massive talking point with the whole of our fan base right now. So yeah, before we get into any of it, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. Also, first link in the description to my second channel, go and check that out. By the way, what I heard through the grapevine is, if you do not like and subscribe, we'll never get a part 3 of that right there. We'll never get it. So hit the subscribe button and like it. Do it now. And we're going to get a part 3 to that very, very soon. Not this season, obviously, but very, very, very soon. The next 2 or 3 years, that's what I heard. So yeah, without further ado, without any yapping, let's get straight into it. So, we've got a couple of stuff to go through, a couple of bullet points that I've leveled up, that I've watched through some previous highlights and stuff like that, and that I've gained through watching every single match, because I've watched every single match. I haven't missed a match since like 2018 or something like that. So, without further ado, let's get straight into these notes that I have looked at and our talking points I think that we should be talking about, because obviously at the moment, Chelsea FC have lost. We've won one, we've drew one, and we lost 2 because we lost to West Ham and Nottingham Forest, didn't we? And there's a couple of flaws in there, but there's a couple of positives as well. A lot of our fan base just think everything's negative at the moment, which isn't the case. There's a couple of positives, especially compared to last season, which was obviously going to be the case. Sorry, there's fluff on this. Which was obviously going to be the case because last season was dreadful. I'm trying to forget about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to forget about it. But yeah, let's jump straight into this. We're not going to talk about any positives. We're just going to go talk about the negatives and what I think Pochettino should do to fix them. So let's start off with number 1, which is a massive talking point right now, and I can agree with it 100%. Ben Chilwell at left wing. Oh, Ben Chilwell at left wing. If we see that on Sunday, it's finished. It's finished. It's done. Now, Ben Chilwell, this thing needs to stop. This thing needs to stop at all costs. Now, the reason why we're playing Ben Chilwell at left wing, look, he starts on paper and defensively. He's meant to be a wing back, but what is going on here is Pochettino trying to play a hybrid. The formation he's playing is a hybrid, so on the attack, Chilwell turns into a left winger, but defensively he comes back as a left wing back. It's confusing. You may as well just play him as a left wing back. I don't understand this whole hybrid thing. Teams do it, and teams sometimes succeed with it, just like Pep does at City, and you know Arteta's doing with Arsenal. But look at them; they've been at their clubs with stable players who have been at that club for years. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Pochettino's only just come into Chelsea with a bunch of new young players as well. This whole hybrid formation is not going to work at all. It's just not going to work. I think we should be sticking with the basics. Basic 4-2-3-1. Don't need to do this hybrid stuff, make it more complicated. No. For right now, at this moment in time, where we're at right now, a basic 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 would be better. It would be better suited for us at this moment in time because, like I said, we've got younger players. Teams like City and Arsenal who are doing it, they've got some experience in their team. And plus the younger players that have been at that club for a couple of years' time, if you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but either way, let's just talk about Ben Chilwell at left wing. It needs to be dropped. Now, Chilwell can attack. He can attack. It's not the fact that he can't attack. It's the fact that getting back and doing his defensive duties, he can't do that as well because when we're attacking, he's so high up the pitch using as a left winger that he doesn't have the time to drop back and be a left wing back or a left back or whatever it is. Which means with this whole hybrid thing, Colwill from a left centre back turns into a left back. Now Colwill's not a left back. I think Levi Colwill's a very, very talented person, very talented player. As a centre back, he is unbelievable, by the way. Unbelievable, one of England's best up and coming centre backs. And in my opinion, I think he could be one of the best centre-backs in the next coming years in the Premier League in general. But He's not a left back. He may be good with the ball at his feet, but he is not a left back whatsoever. So that needs to stop as well, because when it comes to defensive and Chilwell is too high up the pitch, Levi Colwill's having to defend as a left back and it's just not working. So in my opinion, scrap the left wing back thing. No, the left wing with Chilwell. We could be using so many other players in these positions. We've got so many wingers, so many talented wingers, you know, that we can use at that disposal in just a basic 4-2-3-1. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, that's my first point out of the way for the Ben Chilwell left wing. Drop it. Drop it. It needs to go. It needs to go. Pochettino's going to have more people on his back if he keeps using Ben Chilwell as a left winger. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's also more pressure on Ben Chilwell to perform as a left winger than there is to perform at a left back. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Let's move on to the second point. Going back to basics. Going back to basics, what worked in pre-season? What worked in pre-season was a standard basic 4-2-3-1. Now, sometimes we just chose a standard 5 at the back. A 5-2-3 or a 3-4-3 if you want to say it yourself. None of this complicated hybrid thing. I don't even understand it. I don't even understand it. All I know is it's very, very complicated. And it's something that just needs to go. What worked so well in pre-season was it was basic, it was normal, but it worked well because we was able to. You look at some of the games we were playing in pre-season, and then look at the game where we played against Liverpool, for example. Yes, we played well against Liverpool in general. We played well against Liverpool, but you know, you even look at how we played against Liverpool and, you know, Luton, two of the best games we played this season out before, compared to the pre-season games. Night and day, we played way better in the pre-season games, and not just because it's pre-season, because we were playing a basic formation, but we were trying to play a good style of play. We were linking up quickly. Players were, you know, it was just good. You know what I'm trying to say? It was good football to watch. It was actually really good football to watch. Like I already said, I get pre-season, it's a test for things, but we never tried any of this hybrid thing in pre-season. But now we're trying it. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't understand it on that. So I think we should be going back to the pre-season basics because it worked well. It worked well. And even though it is pre-season, I reckon it would work perfectly well in the Premier League as it is right now anyway. So that's just my opinion on that. Next bullet point, giving players games of runs of games. I got it mixed up. Giving players games of run. Now, one player that a lot of people speak about on this situation is Mudryk. Mudryk, he's not, let's be real here, he's not looking great. I watched him in the England friendly, the Ukraine-England friendly, I think it was. I think it was. He was awful. But Mudryk, we all know, we all know, I thought I got mixed up with another player there. We all know he's a very, very good player. He has talent. We even saw it in pre-season. We saw it in pre-season again. But what is it that's holding him back? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's a run of games. I think I read, actually, online, since Mudryk has come in, he's only started, like, I think under 10 games. I think it's like 7 or 8 games. The rest he's come off the bench and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I get that. But if the player is still even in those games, I'm still expecting, basically what I'm trying to say is I'm still expecting Mudryk to come off the bench and even at least in one game show something and, you know, impact the game in some sort of way. Because, you know, when you come off the bench, there's got to be some times where you're impacting the game. I'm not seeing that from Mudryk. Now we move on to another player who, in my opinion, instead of Mudryk, deserves more of a run of games. Madueke. Madueke deserves run of games. Without a doubt. I don't understand this. A lot of people always are saying, Mudryk deserves the run of games. Mudryk does. But I'm not shouting for Madueke. Madueke has probably played the same amount of minutes, if not maybe just a little bit more or just a little bit less than Mudryk. And in those games that he has played, he's impacted more, 3 times more than Mudryk has. It's a fact. It's a fact. It doesn't matter about goals and assists, even though I think Madueke has more goals and assists than Mudryk. Madueke's been the more impact player. He looks more lively every time he gets onto the pitch. He looks like he's going to do something. He looks like he's actually putting more effort into the game than what Mudryk would be. He's a player, in my opinion, who deserves a good run of games. Without a doubt, in my opinion, Madueke deserves a good run of games. And I think if you're going to give a good run of games to Madueke, you know, you're going to get something from him. But with Mudryk, on the other hand, I just don't know. I'm at the point now, I'm not giving up on Mudryk at all. Not at all. I really want Mudryk to succeed. But I'm at the point now where I'm seeing so little from him. And after the games, all I'm seeing is him posting gym compilations and stuff like that on his Instagram stories. I'm just thinking maybe it's a waste of money. Maybe it's a waste of money. But we won't see that maybe until he gets a run of games. So I am technically calling for Mudryk and Madueke to both get a run of games off the left wing and the right wing. Both of them should be getting run of games from Bournemouth, in my opinion. And I think with Madueke, I'm confident you're going to see a good player and you're going to see something from him when you give him a run of games. But with Mudryk, I'm 40-60, 40% confident that we will get something out of him. 60% not confident because I don't know. But yeah, giving players games of runs needs to happen. I get it. You've got to drop some players when they perform badly. If they perform really, really badly, like Ben Chilwell has, even though, albeit he's not in his favourite position, you've got to drop him and you've got to play a Mason if they're playing that bad, you know what I mean? But if they're just playing bad at a time, you know, you've got to give them run of games. Look at Saka for Arsenal, for example. He wasn't great in his first season or two, but what was the thing is Arteta. I don't really want to mention Arteta and Arsenal. I don't like him, but it's true. You've got to give him props where props is due. He stuck with it and keep giving Saka games after games after game. You saw the improvements coming in. You know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. I think we've got to do that, especially with such young players. They've got to gain some sort of experience, you know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. This is another key point. And this actually could be a key. And this is my speculation for the next point, which we're going to get into now. Nkunku. Now, you're probably thinking, we just said his name. You know what I mean? That's all. No, but let's get straight into it. So, pre-season, Nkunku was used as a cam majority of the time, but sometimes he would go out wide and then sometimes he'd also play up front. We saw our best football when Nkunku was actually playing behind Jackson. That's when we were seeing our best football, where we had Jackson up top, Nkunku behind Jackson, and Mudryk off the left. That was when we were seeing our best football in pre-season. Now, and our very, very last pre-season game, obviously, Nkunku got the injury, unfortunately, and he is now out until January. Not played a single minute of Premier League football yet. Like I said, we played our best football with him behind the striker. This is my thing. Was Pochettino's plan the whole time, throughout the whole of pre-season, and trying to go into the Premier League, was his whole plan evolved around Nkunku? Was the team built around Nkunku? Was the system built around Nkunku? And now he's injured. Pochettino's had to switch the system, switch the style of football and everything. Has he had to do that? Because, like I said, we were seeing a consistent 4-2-3-1 in pre-season. Good football as well. It looked like we was building something really, really, really good. Whereas, since the first game of the season, we've switched from a regular 4-back in pre-season to a 5-back hybrid, which he turned into a 4-2-3-1. I don't know. Has he switched it? Is Nkunku the key, is what I'm trying to say. Is Nkunku the key? Was Pochettino trying to build it around Nkunku? Was the whole thing built around Nkunku? Now Nkunku's gone, he can't implement the same thing because Nkunku's not there, if you know what I'm trying to say. Is that what it is? That's my theory on it, really, because literally Nkunku got injured on the last pre-season game, and then that was the last time we saw an actual basic 4-2-3-1 from Chelsea. So was Nkunku the key the whole time? Is what I'm wondering. Will we not see this system that we played in pre-season until January when Nkunku's back? We'll have to find out. But that's what I have to think about the Nkunku situation. Let me know in the comments down below if you can somewhat agree with me, maybe. See what I'm trying to think of. You know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. Next point we move on to, which is the second to last point, actually. Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva. Now, there's been an uproar on Chelsea Twitter. Chelsea X, if you want to say, because it's called X now, not Twitter, but you know what I'm trying to say. I call it Twitter. There's been an uproar of Thiago Silva. Now, if you know me, I love Thiago Silva. I love Thiago Silva. When he first arrived at the club, I was there like, this guy's going to be unbelievable for Chelsea. And you could arguably say he's been a little legend for us. For the time he's been here, he's been brilliant, consistent, always at the top of his game for such an old player. He's a Rolls Royce. But I've got to be honest. Pre-season, he looked decent. But there was a couple flaws here and there. First game of the season looked a little bit lackluster. Same with the second, same with the third. And the last game, on that fourth game, made me maybe look at Thiago Silva and go, maybe your time is slowly coming to an end now, I think. Because let's be real here. It's not criticism on Thiago Silva. He's been a brilliant servant. I love Thiago Silva. If we could keep him for another year and he'd just be like a brilliant backup sub, bring it on. Do you know what I mean? Bring it on. But I don't know if he can be a consistent starter. I don't know if he could be a consistent starter. He can come in for an injury. I can see that. He can come off the bench sometimes to add that stability, you know what I mean, to the back line sometimes. Maybe he can get a start here and there, but playing him every single game of the season now, I don't know. Let me use this as an example real quick. John Terry, 2016-17 under Antonio Conte. He was still at Chelsea, but was majority on the bench and sometimes came off the bench and got a start here and there, majority of the times in cup competitions. John Terry never kicked up a fuss. When he was called upon, he got his game time and he did what he did. But what Antonio Conte did well is he played a back line of players who weren't too old but were, you know, there. I think we've got that. I think we've got that in two players, Levi Colwill and Badiashile Shield. Now, this brings me on to another point, which I haven't got on here, but it brings me on to another point. A little point. We don't need to play a left centre-back, a left centre-back, a right centre-back, a right centre-back. Just switch it to... Look, I can understand why we won't play a left centre-back, a right centre-back, because obviously sometimes they might have to shimmy onto their favourite foot. I can understand that. But we weren't saying that back in 09 and 10 season, were we? We weren't saying that back in 04, 05. You know, we were playing left centre back sometimes and right centre back, and a right centre back sometimes and left centre back. It doesn't matter as long as they can defend. That's all that matters. But obviously, football is too complex now, so we're having to play, you know, each player on the right side of the foot and stuff like that. And you know, I think our best centre back partnership is Badiashile Shield and Colwill, obviously because Wesley Fofana's out injured. But at the moment, Badiashile Shield and Colwill is our best partnership. It is. That's what it is. I don't think we can keep shoehorning Thiago Silva in consistently, because I think we're going to see more flaws from him, because he's only going to get older. He's only going to get older, unfortunately. But I love Thiago Silva. I just think his time's slowing down a little bit now. That's my only problem. And then, that moves me on to my last point of the video. Injuries. Oh, my God. Injuries at this club are haunting us. Absolutely haunting us. Now, obviously, Romeo Lavia joined us in the summer. We knew he wasn't fit enough as it is anyway, so I think Pochettino was looking for him to make a start after the international break. So Pochettino gave him a plan, like a little pre-season plan, so we can get up to fitness and be ready after the international break. As soon as after one day of being on the training ground, I think it was 1 or 2 days or something like that, he gets an injury where it looks like he's going to be out for about 6 to 8 weeks. 1 day on the training grounds. One day on a training ground. And Kunku hasn't even played a Premier League game for us yet. And he signed in January, obviously, he came through on the summer. Hasn't even played a game and he's injured. The only player I know in this whole squad that hasn't had an injury yet since joining Chelsea and has played pretty much all the games, every single game, is Enzo Fernandez. And then you can't look at the manager because this has happened since Sarri. Since Sarri, we've had a consistent injury list. You know what I'm trying to say? Before that, we didn't have an injury list really that much. But since Sarri, we've had a consistent injury list. Loads of injuries every single season. Now, you can't look at the managers because... I don't think you can, but you can at the same time, which is actually going to bring me on to another point in a second. But actually, no, I'm going to say the point now because I've completely forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to say the point now. Is it the style of football we're playing? Now, I don't think it is, but I've just thought of this literally just a second ago. Since we've gone with this attacking brand of football under Sarri, and then we tried to play under Lampard, and then we somewhat played it under Tuchel. It was a defensive formation, but attacking football. Tuchel, Potter, attacking football. I don't think you really count Bruno. Bruno's not really a manager. Frank Lampard again, and now we're going with Poch. It's attacking football. Is it just dead in our legs? Now I've come to think about it. Surely not, because we've just got a whole bunch of new players coming now. So surely it isn't that. But where you saw Chelsea FC at their best was defensive football. Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, Ancelotti wasn't really defensive. But you know what I'm trying to say. Our best years were defensive-minded managers. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't know. But what is going on with the injuries? I don't know. Is it something we're doing wrong after training? Is it something we're doing wrong after training, like the recovery? Is it the medical team giving the green light too early, or maybe a little bit too late? I don't know, but whatever it is, it needs to be looked into, and I think it's one of the reasons why you're not seeing us at our best, because we're just getting hammered with injuries consistently. Carney Chukwuemeka as well. The injuries that we pick up aren't like a week or a couple days or 2 weeks. They're like a month or 2 or 3. A month to us Chelsea fans now, we look at that and go, that ain't that bad. That's actually quite a decent one now. For other teams, a week is that. 2 weeks is bad for other teams. 2 weeks is celebration for us. We need to look into the injury thing, because I think that's one of the reasons why we're not at our best, because every single time one of our players are at our best, they get hammered with an injury for 2 months. Doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, that's all my points for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about all the points that I've made. Let me know which ones you agree. Maybe make a new point on what you guys think that I didn't include, that you think is one of the reasons why. I've been very intrigued to know. I'm always reading the comments, so let me know. And, yeah, be ready for tomorrow's video, because there'll be a match preview for Chelsea-Bournemouth out tomorrow. Well, Bournemouth-Chelsea, because we're playing away. So be ready for that for tomorrow. Keep your eyes peeled for it. And yeah, hope you all have enjoyed this video, guys. Please like, subscribe. Remember, we're on the road to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. If we can get that, thank you all so much. So yeah, let's smash that like button and subscribe. Bell notification on so you're notified every time I upload a video. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. And take care. Oh God, peace.